The Christmas Day attempt to blow up a passenger plane over Detroit has been broadcast on the Al Jazeera television channel. In the tape, the authenticity of which has not yet been verified, the al-Qaeda leader warns US President Barack Obama that there will be more attacks if the US continues to support Israel.
The message I want to convey to you through the plane of the hero Omar al-Farouq reaffirms a previous message that the heroes of 9/11 conveyed to you, and it was repeated frequently. The message is that America will never dream of living in peace unless we live it in Palestine.
Well, the Foreign Secretary, David Miliband, was asked about the tape when he appeared on the Andrew Marr show this morning.
Let's wait to see what he actually says. We know that the al-Qaeda senior leadership are in the Badlands of the Afghan-Pakistan border, probably on the Pakistan side. We know, too, that the Detroit attack was the first time that al-Qaeda of the Arabian Peninsula, which is a subgroup of the al-Qaeda, maybe a franchise you could call it. That's the first time the Detroit attack that represents an attack on the West rather than an attack within the Middle East. Let's see what he says, but it obviously demonstrates both the dangers that exist, but also the links that can exist between different terrorist groups.
Well, the Foreign Secretary there. Joining me is Jonathan Paris, who's a radicalisation and terrorism expert at King's College London and the University of Buckingham. Very good afternoon to you. What do you think about the authenticity of this, or is that an unfair question?
Well, it sounds authentic. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that it's Osama bin Laden.
So what's the purpose of it?
Well, the purpose of it is to take credit for this near miss, this attack that almost exploded an airplane in the United States, carried by somebody who trained in Yemen. So it's the first time Yemen has been used by al-Qaeda to attack the West.
But the significance of that is that it's Osama bin Laden's homeland.
That's right. Osama bin Laden is a Hadramut, and that they come from Yemen. So this is more than just a sanctuary. And indeed, Osama bin Laden has sent in the last 6 months senior al-Qaeda people back from Saudi Arabia into Yemen to take advantage of the vacuum. There's a certain power vacuum. It's a weak state, lots of problems on the periphery. So they're taking advantage of the vacuum there to build up the al-Qaeda network.
And thereby causing a lot of problems politically for people such as Gordon Brown and Barack Obama.
Well, yes, I think that one of the purposes of this conference on Yemen, as well as Afghanistan, is to figure out how the West can stem the tide of dozens of Omar Farouq Abdul Muttalibs coming into the West trying to blow things up.
When we look at the themes that this audio tape touches upon, particularly Gaza, what do you take from that? Well,
al-Qaeda has for years tried to manipulate public opinion, especially in the Muslim world, by touching on sympathetic themes like that. But the fact of the matter is that the Hamas and the Fatah people and the Palestinians as a whole have a more immediate problem, a more immediate political problem with Israel and sometimes with each other. They don't subscribe to the al-Qaeda vision of jihad against the world. Their conflict is much more local. So al-Qaeda really hasn't been that dramatically present in Gaza. So he uses it as a theme to draw attention.
What do you think of the fact that this is an audio tape and not a videotape with him on camera?
That's interesting. I mean, it does suggest rudimentary devices wherever he is, presumably in the border area between Afghanistan and Pakistan. It perhaps suggests perhaps it's a more covert way of getting the message out without being found out. But the fact of the matter is Osama bin Laden is taking credit for something that has really thrown the U.S. administration off a little bit. That is the Christmas bombing attempt. And it was interesting that Osama said, "This is from Osama to Obama." A little catchy phrase. So I think that what we're seeing is al-Qaeda taking advantage of getting a lot of publicity in the Western media with the moving up of these to severe of the alerts, and you know, they get certain free public relations out of it. They get us talking about it.
Jonathan Paris, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.